altogether varied. The whole lot, the whole oeuvre, so to speak, the whole lot is varied. And it's as though I've been trying to get things out quick, so I can jump from the photography. Some early ones are abstract. I started painting in 1999. Seriously, I was doing art before that, but painting was serious in 1999. So that's just over 10 years ago, and it quickly moved through that time from figurative, just experimenting all sorts, abstracts, big things, funny, all sorts of things. And I seemed to get a narrative within them, but one thing leads to another, then you get a dead end. But anyway, so it's varied altogether. I would say it's varied. Like there's religious themes from my background. Landscapes which are just landscapes in themselves. So when you look at the whole lot, it jumps about a lot. Death of painting. Painting means art.
Yeah.
Right, it led to the death of art, but I've always called it painting, although I've done a bit of sculpture. But there's no death of painting out there, it led to the death of me practicing visual art. That came to a stop appropriately with street lamps at the end of the world, which is, it's perfect as the last thing because it's the lights going out. You could say it could be about grandest things, but it could just be about the fact that I was winding down. So the death of art is the practice coming to an end for myself. Certainly not out there, many people doing it. It's just that after this, when I tried to do things, I had lots of things after this which just didn't go anywhere. But I could feel I was losing touch. And I didn't care what was going on.
Yeah.
I just didn't. It could have gone this way, that way, and I wasn't bothered. Whereas these things, I knew, and when it was finished, that was it. I knew it. Next thing, but after this, it was just. Visual art was no longer saying what I wanted. I was doing a lot of writing for the notebooks, and I would turn an idea straight away. It would be scribbling something, and it's almost as though the visual thing just evaporated, and it became the word that was carrying things. That's what I turn to automatically now. And I never did much. I did a bit of sketching, but it was always a paint thing. I never drawing, not drawing the thing itself. It was always doing, the grand project, trying to get that out, not the doodles. But it ended doing visual art, and now I turn to writing when I'm expressing anything. But I wonder if the idea of them going dark and silent is maybe it was that impulse in myself was going dark and silent. It was shutting down. The street lamps are. Well, you can look at this and think, it could be about global warming. Street lamps at the end of the world, fading out. Or on a smaller scale, it's just that myself. It's just right. The explosions happened because I was working like it was extraordinary. 10 years of poof. And then it just quietens down. Yeah, when I was doing them, you're trying to put all of you into it. But then again, you end up doing things you don't like. You surprise yourself. You're communicating. Yeah, of course you are. Am I imparting my wisdom? Yeah. Yes, you are. One is.
Yeah.
First thing is entertainment. Right, certainly with the photographic ones, photography being the most, it is now the established way of accepting reality. People take a photograph and that is reality. So And a photograph is like a little sliver of reality you've got there. You've actually got it. Everybody agrees that it looks like the thing. Reality is not that. That's like an illusion. There's all sorts of things going on behind it. And I think the idea is using photography, something as simple as putting bleach on a photograph. You get that reality, and you almost wipe away the illusion to whatever might be lurking behind. I always think it's like the holodeck on the Enterprise. That's every so often it fades out and people see the work, the gubbins behind. Well, I think it's whatever is sustaining these appearances. Just the act of putting bleach on it takes away. I get satisfaction out of just doing that. It's almost like transcended. You've pierced it, and you could imagine doing it in the sky and just out here. You go like that, and there it is. I've broken it. But using photography broke reality for me because I felt I was getting trapped in my habits and ways of looking at the world, and my understanding myself as an artist, which I'd been carrying on since I was a student, for decades. Suddenly realising that I was trapped by it, and by attacking reality in the photographs. It was attacking my reality, and breaking through. It broke my boundaries. So I thought, well, am I just an artist? Have I got more to myself than that? I felt like I was trapped in that. Because I used to think, I believed the romantic idea that the artist was the greatest form of human being you could be. That was it. And it isn't. And there's things you experience in life which cannot go into art. And should not necessarily go into it. And it was, I suppose it is asking, is to challenge the idea that visual appearances or reality as we understand it is all there is. But I think all painting does that. Well, my reality is living in Carlisle. I wasn't happy. I'm still happy about living in Carlisle. So I've got washed up here. I was living in London before, but I was drifting about and ended up here. I'm sure happy with it yet. I'm not sure if I am, but maybe I was physically attacking Carlisle by choosing local scenes. It was, we have to live here, and it's maybe it's a question of coming to terms with your reality. Instead of dreaming about it, you should be somewhere else. You've got to come to terms with. It's not that important where you're real. It's what you're doing. It's who you're with. Not the place. Just get hung up on place. So I think choosing local scenes. It's either just because it's on my doorstep, but it could have been actually trying to. It might have been an aggressive act, I don't know, or just that it was. That place interested me, the what is it called? The motorway junction at the top of Warwick Road, because of that mix of urban and nature coming together. So no, I did. And there was one part of the marshalling yard at Cargo, which I like as a thing in itself. It's the reality that's on my doorstep. So I think where I could walk to or ride a bike to and take the photographs. Because I've been too busy doing it. This was a personal project. I think I bottled things up. I think I didn't have this visual artist. I had these things or not in me, but I had this identity as a visual artist. I've been a conceptual and performance. And all of a sudden, I had this explosion of doing things. And I was that busy getting this. Occasionally I would think about sending something out, but I was always too busy doing the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And a few things have been out, but this one, when I'd finished painting, right, what am I going to do now? Finished out, what am I going to do now? trying other things again. But one idea I had, which is why I'm doing the exhibition now at the bank, is because I thought, what about being your own agent? You've got all this stuff. What about promote now? It's gone cold. You can look at it objectively. I'm no longer involved with it or doing it. What about promoting it? So that's when I approached the bank. This whole lot almost ended in Michael Andy's art bin, the whole lot. But, you know, I offered. I said, "How about the whole lot? How about the whole oeuvre in the bin?" But he wanted a few pieces, and I was disappointed. It was either all or nothing. Well, that was. I'd done the Kakubri one, and that was another photographic joiner project. We went out there one evening, took loads of photographs, came back and tried to arrange them. And I thought, I've done this. And I thought, I could just paint this. I think I've got the confidence. I always wanted to paint landscapes, but it was the idea of using photographs as like an easy way of doing it, and you would just fill in the gaps, because you take a joiner and they never go together. You put them down, there's always a big gap somewhere where because you have to put it, because you turn it on the inside of a sphere, so you flatten it and there's a big gap, so you just join that. That's easy, that's painting easy, because it's just doing the job. But the Allenby was, tell you what, I think I could actually, look at this photo, I could actually do this without recourse to photography. So, did the Allenby one. And then I think I did, then I thought, I tell you what, I can do this. So that's another landscape one, so in other words I simplified, and that photography helped me do that. Okay. Those fantastic photographs that they took of these bombs going off, when they had to develop ultra high speed photography, and you capture, and they look almost organic. These brains of when you see the actual, when it's going to become this massive blast, the first millisecond when you get this, and you can see the holes. You actually see the structure of the device is still there. You know, that's fine. That these ghostly things that have been captured before it flies off there. But and that particular exposure was one of those things. These photographs in which the signal's firing up the cable to the bunker, or the scientists, or the cable, and it's burning behind it. It's travelling just fast enough, but behind it the cable is melting as the fireball is expanding, and the signal's just ahead of it, capturing information. Extraordinary.
Hit me!